If you're watching this video, chances are you have run into the exact same issue that I am running into. Hybrid vehicles actually do save you gas money. Don't let any fool out there tell you otherwise. I have personally owned one for a good 2 months. I've owned a Toyota Prius 2006 model, and on a consistent basis I am getting on average 50 miles a gallon. Sometimes I'm able to get as high as 58 miles a gallon, even in the middle of winter. What I am going to talk about is an issue with a Honda Civic Hybrid. And one of my family members owns a 2007 Honda Hybrid, and it's the Honda Civic. The problem with the Honda Civic hybrids, they use a system designed by Honda called IMA, and IMA stands for Integrated Motor Assist. It's not a full-fledged hybrid like the Prius, where the Prius can go up to 45 miles per hour strictly on battery without the gasoline motor running. The IMA is designed to keep the RPMs low on the motor by giving it a little extra kick. You can't run this car off of battery strictly, and if the battery's dead, the car will operate like a standard car. Not long ago, there was a lawsuit about these vehicles where the IMA batteries tend to prematurely kill themselves. Now, Honda, when reports of this started coming around, Honda released an update stating that the air conditioning system somehow puts extra strain on the battery packs, puts them through additional loads and cycles, and thus kills them early. These batteries are rated to go as far as 100,000 miles, according to Honda. I have yet to see this. When your battery goes initially, you will see the check engine light and the IMA light kick in. Now, mine kicked in at 65,000 miles, well within the standard 8-year, 85,000 mile warranty. Now, my family member brought this car to DCH Honda. Delivering customer happiness is apparently their motto. This person paid a $110 diagnosis fee for them to plug a computer reader known as an ODB2 monitor into the car, check codes, and found that the battery has been reported as early deterioration. And the paperwork that we got stated that the battery was deteriorated. And their solution to this problem is pretty stupid. Their solution, and this is exactly what Honda tells every dealership and every service technician to do, is to update the computer that's in the car. So apparently, in Honda's eyes, a battery that's already deteriorated can be fixed with a firmware upgrade on the car's ECU, the electronic control unit, or engine control unit. Does anyone else out there see a problem with this? Because I do. Now, my background is I've worked as a systems administrator for more than 4 years, and one of the things you run across is known as an APC unit, also known as a UPS, which is an uninterruptible power supply. Now, in the field of server technology, if you need to keep your servers running 24/7, you need a battery backup. Because even if you have a generator, it takes a while for the generator to kick in. So to prevent the server from ever receiving power loss, you have a giant 2U power rack that consists of a bunch of lead acid batteries. And what that will do is keep your rack running from anywhere from like 10 minutes to an hour. I have seen my fair share of defective batteries in these. Lead acid, I mean, you're not going to always get a perfect battery, but when the battery packs go, the APC unit is supposed to tell you that the battery packs suck. They're supposed to tell you, hey, look, the battery packs are not going to last as long as they're supposed to, thus your expected uptime isn't going to be that long. The APC units I worked on would say, hey, look, you have 45 minutes before the power will die. Well, power goes out 10 minutes later, the rack is dead. Upon removing the battery packs and checking the voltage across each of the battery packs, I found that one of the 6 packs had a substantially lower voltage. And that would indicate that there was a problem with that cell, that particular cell was not charging. Thus, the chain is only as strong as the weakest link. Now, in the Honda Civic IMA battery, it consists of 144 D-sized nickel metal hydride cells. Now, each of the cells are welded and then heat shrink wrapped into 20 sticks. They look like road flares, if you can kind of visualize this. There's 20 of these, with 6 in each, inside the IMA battery, and they're hooked up in series. So now anyone that understands electricity or understands battery technology, when you put them in series, you're taking whatever the voltage of each pack is and you're adding it. So each stack is 7.5 volts. Do the math, and you get 150 volts. Now, if you were to put them in parallel, where you're lining up all the positives together and you're lining up all the negatives together, you'll get more capacity, where basically the voltage would still remain 7.5 volts, but the overall capacity will be distributed amongst all of the cells. So in order for this car to get such high voltage, they add 144 D-sized nickel metal hydride cells. The problem is, if any one cell is bad, you're going to have a reduction in voltage, you're going to have a reduction in capacity, and you're going to have a reduction in amp hour performance and capacity. When that happens, the IMA light and check engine light kick in on your dashboard. So Honda, the little clever bastards that they are, released a software update for the cars. Now, there were 2 updates they released. The first one, which was installed on my car, what it does is it changes the parameters that tell the car that the battery pack is dead. There are no known numbers as to what it changed, but there's a change. If the car that you drove off the lot back in 2007 was unaltered and the battery pack went down to the point that it originally would deem defective or died, it would trip the light, which it did. So therefore, according to what Honda deemed as a bad battery pack in 2007, we hit that point. So for instance, let's say Honda thinks that if the capacity is less than 60% of what it's supposed to be, it will trigger that light. You go to a dealership, the dealership charges you a diagnostic fee, even though the battery pack is covered under warranty. They update the software on your car, thus changing the parameters, and then when you argue with them about it, they tell you that they fixed the problem. Now, again, how does software fix a physical chemical defect in battery cells? Exactly, it doesn't. That you can't fix it. You have to replace the dead cell. You have to replace the dead battery pack. Now, Honda is on the hook for $4,000 if they do this. And the dealerships need a error code, a problem code, in order to bill Honda for a brand new battery pack. 2 years later, still having problems, we bring the Honda back. The problem, and there's plenty of videos about this, is you'll find that when you're driving, even when you're at a dead stop, you will see a battery indicator on the left will go from a full charge and just rapidly drop. Like within 20 seconds, it goes from a full charge down to either 1 or 2 dots on your charge indicator. And that's what's known as a recalibration. I have seen stuff like this happen, especially with the APC units. When the APC unit's battery pack was bad, you will see it go from a full charge, drop down to like low battery, then it would sit there for a few minutes and then die, which is essentially what these cars are doing. When the battery packs fail, they're, instead of giving the warning light, which it originally did, Honda's new software changed the parameters, which said, no, it's still within acceptable tolerance. A lot of people have stated this. Yes, we don't have a paper evidence, which sucks. Logically speaking, how could a battery pack be defective one day and not defective another, according to this stupid computer? Problem is, when you don't get this integrated motor assist, your car acts just like a standard Honda Civic. So when you're paying several $1,000s more than a regular car and the hybrid system isn't running, you're getting absolutely no benefit for what you paid for. And to me, that is a problem. To me, that's a scam. To me, that's fraud. You sold me a car that's not doing what it's supposed to do. You warranty the battery for 8 years, 85,000 miles, but you won't honor the warranty. Now, what makes matters worse was Honda was sued, and there was a class action lawsuit. The class action lawsuit, all it did was extend the warranty for another 12 months and for another 12,000 miles. So now the car is warranted up to 96,000 miles. Now that's all fine and dandy. However, when bringing your car to Honda, unless the IMA light and check engine light is tripped, they won't do shit for you. Just like DCH Honda did in Paramus. And I'm calling you guys out because no matter what I said to you guys, no matter what logic I tried to give you guys, it went in one ear out the other. You guys are as thick as a brick. You refuse to see reason, and you only do what you're told. Yes, Honda may give you instructions on how to do it, but if your entire motto is delivering customer happiness, how can you just allow a customer's car, which is clearly acting up, just go on its merry way without replacing that battery pack? If it costs $4,000, why don't you just pull that $4,000 out of your pocket and get a brand new battery pack? The problem is DCH Honda refuses to work with you unless they find a problem code. And again, I work in computers. Not everything is going to give you an error. You can have someone tell you, what's the most common problem people tell me in the computer industry? My computer is slow. Now, if I go to check out a computer and I turn it on, is it going to tell me an error code that, oh, you're slow because of this error? No, it's not. It requires common sense, logic, and an understanding of the system you're working on to fix it. So, I extend the offer for Honda to make things right. Do the customer justice, because a customer drops several $1,000s more for a hybrid that's not working like a hybrid anymore because the battery packs are dead. Now, if Honda doesn't fix it, alternate solution that I'm going to do, and luckily for all of you, we're going to disassemble the car. We're going to take the battery pack out. We are going to show you step by step how to disassemble this and fix it yourself, because the cells that are inside the battery pack are removable. They're not welded in, they're not soldered in. It's just simply a matter of 10 to 15 screws, and you can remove the battery pack, take the external casing off, and there you go. You disengage the battery pack. The battery pack doesn't have any more than 7.5 volts, which you could lick a 9-volt battery and still not die, so you're good. Chances are it's only going to have 1 or 2 bad cells. So, take care, guys. Look out for future videos. And Honda, please stop being a complete dick. Replace an obviously defective battery and stop telling your customers that you fixed a problem by updating the car's software. Because again, you're not fooling me. I don't have stupid written across my forehead. Software cannot fix a physical problem. It can't. Your tire's flat. Do you update the software in your car to fix the flat? No, you can't. It's impossible to do that. Your spark plug burns out. Do you update your car's software? No, you don't. It doesn't fix a physical broken problem. Apparently, Honda thinks you can fix anything with software.